Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today I will be reacting to 10 wrestlers fans loved, then hated. This interests me because I can't think of 10 instances where this has happened, dude. Obviously the thumbnail featured Kane, so I think he's gonna be on this list. But I don't even know if I consider that like a fans like loving and then hating the guy. I just think it was a bad gimmick he had in the middle 2010s. Only other people I can think of are maybe The Rock. I think Chris Jericho will definitely be in this video, and I think Adam Copeland's kind of teetering on that kind of spectrum of, you know, he might start getting a bit more hate these days. I think 2025 has been a pretty shitty year for the guy, storyline wise. Other than that, I don't know who could be on this list, man. So I'm very curious to see who makes it here. So let's get into this video, man. Without further ado, let's just jump right in. Maybe Vince McMahon. Maybe that's what we.
In wrestling, the crowd might reject someone a company is trying to push.
Ooh.
Including those that were once beloved, but the people have grown tired of, perhaps due to a storyline or bad booking.
Vince just wanted to push me, shove me down their throats as a babyface, and it just got, it's gotten worse and worse.
Batista?
As the fans let their feelings be known and their voices be heard.
I don't know who's booing. I'm thanking the ones who are not booing right now.
Ouch.
This might cause a wrestler to turn heel, or even remain a face, which can rile up the audience even more.
But he would join.
We'll take a look at various examples today, as we list 10 times wrestling fans turn on their heroes.
Are they just gonna fucking like do like heel turns? Does that count? Does that count?
I remember turning to Vince, like, what am I supposed to do?
In 2018, Ronda Rousey
Okay,
arrived in
yeah.
WWE to much press and hype.
Alright, this one's valid. Fuck, I forgot about this, man. It was cool. Her first one was really good. Her first year was really good. And then she came back, and it just went to dog shit, man. I don't know what happened.
The first half of her run was handled well, as she was given time to plan out her matches, which received praise from fans. Things began to take a downward
So
turn
good. Her
when the company
people
tried
were
to
actually
make
like, yo,
Ronda
her promos
cut
are actually
scripted
really
promos,
good.
when it was clear that wasn't her selling point.
I think Sasha making me get better today than she was just. All right, you got me to stutter. Good job.
The initial cheers eventually turned to boos, because Ronda went from coming in as an authentic version of herself to the watered-down character WWE were trying to make
They did
her.
try. They did start trying like a bit. Yeah, it was a bit hard. And I think, yeah, towards... I remember the Survivor Series thing where she fought Charlotte. She was getting her ass beaten. The crowd was fucking loving it, dude. So that does suck. That is like yeah, that is a point. But it got worse. I was still like her character was still good though. Like after that, like she was still having good matches. She had a good match with Nia Jax. She had a good match with Sasha Banks. And then she had good matches, and then, kind of, but then it was still good. She was still a solid worker, so.
I'm sure most
Yeah.
of you guys know that last week, the Bella Twins. Last year I stepped into.
Oh, no one cared about this. Actually, this match wasn't even that bad either, the one at Evolution, but I think this did sour a lot. This actually was kind of the point. It really was a lot of like the Becky Lynch stuff. Like before Becky Lynch turned, everything was going good for Ronda Rousey. But when that happened, people were like, I'm done with you. We can fucking go on to Becky Lynch now.
First ever all-women's Royal Rumble.
Look at all the signs for the man.
Really began
Yeah.
to accelerate at Survivor Series when Ronda was booed out of the building.
Thank you for the
The
little
WWE didn't
cards
turn
at the
Rousey
bottom.
heel until a month before
Wrestling
the final
Flashback.
match of her first run in March 29.
I should have shout out Wrestling Flashback at the start, man. I'm sorry. Wrestling Flashback, really great channel. I love, he again, flashbacks, really good look backs on other wrestling in general. I do kind of go to the WWE for that, but still, he has some good input as well. So shout out to him. But at 400K,
But the whole thing
wow.
shows you how bad the company's creative was during this period, that they could mess up the baddest woman on the planet.
Ronda Rousey, Natalya, both former world champions.
And the more they screwed it up, the more Ronda wasn't feeling the character.
that
Hence the
bad?
fan of her work. The Big
You
Show
see
and
that?
Kane have had an interest up, the more Ronda wasn't feeling.
Natalya, both
There's a
former
fucking
world
bat.
champions.
And And the more they screwed it up, the more Ronda was
Look at
a character, hence
What the
decline of
fuck?
her work. The Big Show and Kane have had an interesting relationship with the audience
you
over
just
the
moving
years.
on?
The two
Oh.
have turned back and forth between heel and face so
Jesus
many
Christ,
times
that was
that
ugly.
their booking and
Big Show and Kane. Okay, list. Big Show, Kane. Oh. Was there a point that he was even liked, like really like Big Show as like a face? Not really. I think of like PG era Big Show. That's like the only time he was a baby face. And he was getting please retire chants. Oh, that's so fucking distasteful to do, man. I cringe here looking back at those please retire chants towards Big Show. In terms of Kane, I don't think he was ever like really hated. People were just like, damn, he used to be a lot cooler. I think that was just it.
storylines as
He just
sometimes
looks
their
a lot
fans in
cooler.
attendance silently scratching their heads. Even during moments when they're
Oh,
meant to be
Jesus
cheered, the crowd
Christ,
reacted
man.
with pure indifference.
Yeah, PG era babyface. Oh yeah. This was such a weird babyface run. This was 2000. I guess he was babyface 2004 too. He was fighting Kurt Angle, and I led into him fighting for JBL. I'm trying to think what he did in this face run. He did nothing because he just teamed up with Kane right after.
Can you believe it?
He grew his hair back.
Done. I thought Kane was going to come out here. And
Okay,
move
come on.
his head off tonight.
You can't just say Face King gets boring chance. He's fighting himself. What am I supposed to think? You want me to cheer this guy? He's fighting himself. I'm not cheering this. This is stupid as
He
hell.
liked it. And Kane now stepping to the outside.
Fans
This
really
team should
got
never
fed up
be a
with the
face
duo
either.
during their time as part of the Authority stable in 2014.
This sucks.
Crowds were already restless when
This
Show
really
was heavily
sucks.
inserted into Daniel Bryan's feud with the faction the previous year. If the infamously hot and cold Giant didn't side with the Authority, then why wait another 12 months to pull the trigger?
Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, the Big Show.
Aww.
Kane, meanwhile, traded in the mask for a suit and slacks. This
I
was
see-
easily one
yeah.
of the worst incarnations
Yeah, this is just a shitty gimmick.
of the Big Red
But
Machine.
it's just a
He lost
shitty
almost
gimmick.
every match, and like Show, had go-away heat with the fans.
To invoke our rematch clause.
Damn, that's
That's
crazy.
what Brock thought he was.
The people still respected them. They were just frustrated over the booking and bad creative.
I don't. What?
It was a far cry from the days when
What?
fans loved Mask Kane, or even cheered him on SmackDown in 2006 and 7. Show had even been world champion as recently as 2013
Wow, that belt looks
prior
weird.
to turning heel again, but neither he
That's
nor
not the
Kane would ever
belt.
be looked at the same.
Wait a
as
minute, what the
recently-
fuck's wrong with this belt? What belt is this?
As 2013 prior to turning heel again, but neither he nor Kane would ever be looked at the same by the higher-ups, following their work with the Authority.
This would be the peak. Yeah, this would be their peak.
You know, we heard you, John. Yes.
You'd be gone
you
2017,
are.
or no,
By
actually
By
2020.
2016, they had both turned face, but were essentially
Oh,
glorified
Jesus Christ.
nostalgia acts who came in
Yeah.
and out every so often.
James the man!
2016, bro, get the
Neither were
fuck out of
used in an
here.
effective capacity.
Dude, we're about to get AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, fucking The Miz, Kevin Owens, Cesaro. We're bringing all these bitches back in here. We're not fucking watching Big Show and Kane no more. I'm sorry.
Something Big Show vocally spoke out against, though nothing changed. 2018 was the last year Big Show and Kane were both semi-active on the roster simultaneously. Show and Kane were perhaps their most hated during the 2015 Royal Rumble debacle,
WWE fans, of course, not happy.
where the fans turned on Roman Reigns because they wanted their hero, Daniel Bryan, to win.
No, this is such
Reigns
a
picked up the
debacle,
victory
man.
on the night, but his
This is
moment
so
was marred by
fucked.
boos, which his cousin The Rock couldn't even prevent.
Well, wait a minute. There he is. Roman Reigns is going to WrestleMania.
This is so fucked, man. Look at his
Roman
face,
had
bro.
been cheered as a
Oh.
face during his days in the Shield and leading up to the Rumble event. However, from this point on, the fans let Reigns have it, since many of them didn't want to see him as
What
the
is
top
this?
dog.
Is this
His
Roman
segments
Reigns?
were often jeered and overshadowed.
They didn't. Okay, if you're going from loved to hated, but he's gone back to being loved. Like, you can't add him on this list. The fuck? He's been loved again now. I mean, to be fair, they talk about how, yeah, I didn't even mention this, but he was super popular in the Shield. He was a really cool Shield member. And then he tried to stick out on his own. Come like the next big guy, and it just didn't work.
Shadowed by the backlash.
Oh, this sucks. This was so cool though. He was such a good heel this night. I don't know why the fuck they didn't just make him a heel.
I'm not a good guy. I'm the
It took him
guy.
5 years
This
to do
is
that,
my
man.
yard now.
Tough 5 years.
This is my yard.
Look at this
This is
charisma.
my
Look at this.
yard now.
Look at this charisma vacuum.
All the while, Reigns struggled to turn the audience.
I don't care what y'all say. This is my boy, and I'm happy for you. And I just want to say congrats, man. Now, hey, Chicago, this ain't boring, baby. This is real life. The match.
What?
Wait, y'all can't hear me or something?
What?
All the
Ouch.
dudes chanting that I can't wrestle, calm down. Take a sip of your beer and shut your mouth.
Roman's matches were regularly being hijacked due to how much he was being forced down our
He actually
throats.
can though. That's the thing. Oh, this sucks, man. Main event of WrestleMania.
And one thing that AJ Styles knows.
These matches are fantastic, by the way. This one's not. This one's really not. This one's really not. Don't watch that one. Or this one.
Like you getting sucked in, or the rest of us. Oh my God.
Or this one. Don't watch this one either.
Oh my God. Huge great right-handed blow.
In fact, numerous moments of his that would have been career-defining for most wrestlers are looked back on with disdain due to the WWE's failure to book Reigns as a babyface.
Oh, this is so painful. This is so painful
And
to
in
look back
2005,
on.
John Cena went through the same hardships Roman did 10 years after, and like Reigns, initially Cena was not equipped to handle the negative response, as he went from the edgy non-PG rapper to a more family-friendly poster boy for WWE. The negative
Thing is though, like, they catered more to that market, so it worked out decently well. It actually worked out pretty well in the long run for him, doing this. Like, the PG era was probably the best thing that could have happened to John Cena. I don't know if that's a hot take or not. I feel like that is, but
reaction
he
became
did need
more
this.
pronounced the longer Cena was the Federation's golden boy.
Cena has put RVD through the ringer this fall.
okay, this is a crowd of ECW fans. I mean, what the fuck do you expect them to chant? Of course, you're gonna tell them to die. Oh, there's just some Raw? Damn. Oh, SummerSlam. I bet these are all like Chicago too, though. That's the thing. Like, you know, actual like places where Ring of Honor is huge and big. Like, this guy's not getting over. You go somewhere like I mean, West Coast, man. They probably not even. Anywhere else where PWG, Ring of Honor, or like those promotions don't run, you'll get over. That sucks. This is in Miami, literally where The Rock's from. Damn.
I don't know if he likes that chant.
Even though the jeers persisted long after, the 2006 Hall of Fame was a turning point in terms of John's ability to deal with the backlash.
I remember during events, I'm like, what am I supposed to do? He goes,
Keep going.
just go out and smile.
He was booed out of the building in Chicago the whole weekend, including on Raw.
Fucking hate him in Chicago. They just hate this guy in Chicago, man.
I want to hear this.
However, what was different on these nights compared to before is that Cena had the people on his side once the promo was done.
Hey! That's how good of a wrestler he is, bro. That's so underestimated of him. He actually able to turn the crowd like that in Chicago. That was really cool. And again, people look back on this now. They realize just how good his work in the ring was, too.
And I may be a stupid son of a bitch, but I'm a tough son of a bitch. And half these people want to see me get my ass kicked anyway? You got your match, bitches.
John did this by being himself and staying true to his persona. Over the next decade, Cena possessed the ability to go from being booed at the start of a segment to being cheered at the end based on how he spoke to the people.
Montreal,
There's a
wow.
guy wearing a Nordiques jersey over there. They left town in '96, but he will not give up because he fights for what he believes in.
He developed such a rapport with the crowd, even those
pretty
who
awesome.
disliked him.
Let's go, Cena! Cena sucks!
Holy, the children compared
That's
to
why his heel
adults.
turn in 2025 was so jarring in a sense that he opted for the low-hanging fruit when it came to his promo material, which was a far cry from the more nuanced way he communicated to viewers in the past. Some might say John was simply pandering to turn the tide.
I'll talk
how many
about
wrestlers
that
have you seen
another
that were
day.
able to consistently turn the crowd like him?
Thank you very much for even mentioning me. Je vais te botter cul, which means
Roman struggled to do it years later, so it shows you how good Cena truly was. Sure, we sometimes got the rated G Cena, who would dismiss his losses in an almost flippant manner, but more often than not, John backed up the content of his never give up mission statement as the polarizing top babyface that was often booed. The main thing was that people were reacting strongly, one way or another.
Because whether they like you or whether they hate you, the most important thing is that they feel strongly one way or the other.
Shut the
Earlier, we
fuck
spoke about
up.
Roman Reigns being positioned as the hero when the fans demanded Daniel Bryan. 12 months before that, it was Batista in the same spot as Roman, as the fans wanted
Okay, and then again, to be fair, they pivoted fucking immediately. I can't, like, yeah.
Bryan in WrestleMania 30's main event instead of the Animal. Dave even eliminated Reigns to win the 2014 Royal Rumble, back when fans were still accepting of Roman during his time with the Shield. Coming out of the Rumble, Batista became Bootista, since he received negative responses every week, which eventually forced the heel turn.
You know, it kind of breaks my heart when I get fans, you know, saying I don't deserve it.
Batista, the winner of this year's Royal Rumble match.
That's the awesome thing about Batista though, is that you literally could just go like, yeah, like if the crowd doesn't like you, all right, you're heel now. That's the great thing about his character, and I can't believe they didn't explore that a bit more in his first run with the company, because I don't think he was ever a heel from like the time he turned on Triple H in Evolution to the time he turned on Rey Mysterio, which is crazy. I think it's crazy. We really should have gotten more heel Batista, because that is a really cool character. And he plays a heel really well.
WWE fans getting all over Batista. Batista. 13,000 plus.
Oh, he's blue Batista here.
Batista.
We sent Big Batista packing.
It was a case of right guy, right place, wrong time.
Vince just wanted to push me, you know, shove me down their throats as a babyface, and it just got, you know, it got worse and worse, and the more they shoved me down people's throats, the more they resented me for being there.
Though the Animal did a fine job leading into the controversy while being leveled with chance. Batista was previously one of the most popular stars in WWE, but the company...
You know, just thinking about it now, I didn't really have it to, like, just think about this before. But, like, say the whole Daniel Bryan stuff didn't happen at all. Like, it just never happened. Batista coming back after 4 years away, winning the Royal Rumble, winning the world title, would have been kind of cool, I think, if he actually was received pretty well. Would it not have been? Like, John C... Like, does that sound... That's probably the most, like, you know, PG era grew up watching fucking take of all time.
Return to was much weaker.
Like,
from a
I actually would have liked to have
standpoint.
seen
After
Batista win
finishing
that
up in June,
WrestleMania
Dave
30.
wanted to return and work SummerSlam.
I don't.
to promote his
Daniel
Guardians
Bryan
of
was
the Galaxy
perfect.
movie. However, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon refused. Rather than being supportive of Dave, they laughed him off and questioned if the movie was even going to be successful.
I said, wouldn't it be great if I was back and the number, you know, I was also in the #1 movie in the world, and they kind of had a snicker, and it was, you know, yeah, we don't even know if the movie's going to be good. And it was one of those moments. It was a very uncomfortable moment where I think they were just kind of doubting me and laughing in my face. And it's like, okay, but it's not that I wanted to leave. I even wanted to come back. I mean, you know, they're really difficult to work with, man, and they're just not very, very flexible.
It just goes to show you how warped of an attitude the higher-ups can have at times. The fact that they would openly disrespect a star like Batista, who quite rightly left the company following his subsequent success in Hollywood, and thus we've rarely seen him return since. Perhaps we could have seen Dave drop back in every so often,
like
had WWE not dismissed him in 2014, when his film career was just getting off the ground. Before Batista became arguably the best wrestler turned actor, the dawn of Hollywood Rock in 2003 saw Dwayne Johnson embrace his career as a movie star on WWE programming. This character was born after the people had enough of the Great One leaving to do movies, only to return months later, and then leave again at a later date. SummerSlam 2002 was the final straw. Rock passed the torch to Brock Lesnar on a night where the Long Island faithful let the Brahma Bull have it.
With the Rock, keeping the leverage down, keeping the pressure on the lower back.
The once beloved People's Champion had now split the audience.
It doesn't matter where the Rock has come back to. sing along with the Rock.
I've never seen this promo actually. That's pretty cool.
He appeared one more time before turning heel, which came at the Raw 10th anniversary show. The New Yorkers in attendance went in on Rocky, following a weak babyface promo that was pre-taped, as opposed to being live via satellite.
Rock's here via satellite.
Matter of fact, we can't go on. No. The Rock can't go on before he says one thing. The Rock has got to say this, considering where we're at.
This was rare for Rock, who always did his segments live. There is no way he would have cut the same promo otherwise, given the negative response. When the Great One finally came out in front of the people again a few weeks later, he fully embraced the jeers, healing it up like never before.
This is so great. This is such great stuff. So like this guy's just talking about fucking like heel turns, dude. This gimmick is awesome. What I thought we were talking about like people that actually would have been like, you know, like that just aren't like seen as like good wrestlers anymore. That's what I thought we would have seen Chris Jericho in this video. Maybe we still will. But I think it is more that, you know, baby faces that couldn't really get over, that weren't getting over anymore. So, or at one point were, and then just not. Which I'm guessing is where this is going.
The Rock hears Rocky. The Rock hears Rocky sucks. The Rock heard over here. The Rock hears Hogan. Hey, that's enough.
Hollywood Rock received mostly boos over the next couple months, but it got to the point where he was so entertaining, the crowd were cheering him once more, but fans won't forget the ride the People's Champ took them on during Hollywood Rock's 3-month run. As an EVP and one of the founding members of All Elite Wrestling, Cody Rhodes made a deliberate effort not to book...
Again, this one's really interesting, because Cody Rhodes, he was a guy that... Face Cody Rhodes, right? Heel Cody Rhodes could make it in the indies. I think face Cody Rhodes just was too white meat. I think and that's been like well established at this point. Just too white meat for the AEW audience.
Himself on top during his
just
time
too
with
goody
the company,
two shoes,
despite
man.
being one of the promotion's top stars. Rhodes
and he
positioned
tried
himself
really
away from the
hard
world
to
title
make him
picture,
like
where he
get
instead
himself
wrestled
to be
for
like
the TNT Championship.
Tried really
if I
hard.
do not defeat Chris Jericho at Full Gear, I will never challenge for the AEW World Championship again.
He worked with various up-and-comers and mid-card talent, often doing the honors and putting them over. Cody even feuded with lower-card wrestlers during his final year with AEW, including QT Marshall and Anthony Ogogo. However, this is where fans started to turn on the American Nightmare. The awful rivalry with Ogogo was followed up with average feuds against Malachi Black and Andrade. Rhodes had essentially hooked himself into a corner by not wanting to challenge for the title or wrestle in main event programs.
So to make political decisions like boxing myself out of winning a world championship, those decisions in hindsight were not the correct decisions.
No, they were not.
And if I can't be the best wrestler in the world on television because I'm afraid I'm going to offend colleagues because I am also their boss, that was the situation we were in, and I just played it in the middle. There was only so much of playing it in the middle I could do.
Which meant his overall work suffered. It led to polarizing reactions similar to that of John Cena's, where half the crowd were cheering while the other half were booing, as Rhodes remained a face which only drew more cheers.
But he would join.
Like, just turn! Embrace it! Fuck, man! Make yourself, like, viable for the title again by fucking just writing some kind of legal document, like, because you're the boss. This was so hard to watch. I was like, wow, dude, that's crazy.
The easy way out is not the way.
Oh my god, I hate you.
I will not turn.
I hate this guy.
To see how this played out going forward, but at the start of 2022, Cody left
fits
AEW
so much
to join
better
WWE,
here.
Where he became a beloved top babyface.
Yeah, he fits
a
so
far
much
cry
better
from
here.
the mixed reactions he received during his last months in All Elite. The famous double turn between Bret Hart and Stone Cold at WrestleMania 13 was executed to perfection, as the Hitman officially became a heel on the night. But if you watch the build,
it's like it's like in this video, he went from like times it shouldn't have happened, to times like they. Like ways they booked it like horribly, like starting with Ronda Rousey by just pushing through and Roman Reigns, to like times they actually fucking did amazingly with Bret Hart. Because again, this whole angle with Hart turning heel and like the Hart Foundation was fantastic stuff. Actually, I actually really like looking back on it.
The eyes of the fans.
And his turn itself, like leading up to it, from when he came back in October '96 to WrestleMania 13, the double turn, was all really good storyline and stuff. Actually. Too bad the weekly product was actually shit, but the story itself was really cool.
To the point where he began to receive boos on television a few weeks before Mania, since many viewers were tired of his.
They're calling him Crybaby, bro. This guy was getting regularly screwed out of like titles from Steve Austin. Like, he was justified. This guy was eliminated by Steve Austin, who had already been eliminated, and then he was caused to the title by Steve Austin being hit with a chair. Like, this guy was so right, but everyone just like, fuck you, man. We like Steve Austin. You shut up.
Even though the Hitman had fair grounds to be so upset after
Exactly,
constantly
yeah.
getting screwed, the way he went about it rubbed the audience the wrong way.
You screw me, everybody screws me, and nobody does a goddamn thing about it. Nobody in the building cares. Nobody in the dressing room cares. So much goddamn injustice around here.
This is awesome. This is
It was
awesome.
a great storyline where much of the heat put on Brett was channeled through Austin, whose rebellious attitude struck a chord with the fans, especially given the juxtaposition between Steve and the moany, why always me Brett.
Bret Hart, ever since you came back, you ain't done nothing but cry.
Unlike our other examples on the list, Bayley
Oh,
wasn't
never
booed for an
mind.
extended period after some fans first turned on her, though her reactions certainly diminished following great
Hey,
success in NXT.
I don't know what happened here. I genuinely don't. I think it was WWE themselves making her look bad. It had to have been, right? It's just the whole Alexa Bliss feud just fucked it up. And like that story she told with they told with the kendo on the pole, kendo stick on a pole match where she was just scared to pull the trigger, right? Just made her look like a bitch. Made her look like an actual child. That's the difference, right? WWE presented her like an actual child, while NXT Bayley's was like presented as still like a wrestler, you know?
The start of Bayley's run on the main roster was handled relatively well, but things began to fall off a cliff following WrestleMania 33 due to some atrocious creative.
This is hard to watch.
Jesus Christ, I don't want to fucking see this.
Really? This is your life? No,
Damn.
that one? That was crickets. Wasn't Bailey's fault, by the way.
First, she lost the title in her hometown, and then going into the Extreme Rules event, the build-up suggested her character was about to develop more of an edge, which would lead to her finally pulling the trigger at the pay-per-view. But this went out the window when she took too long to use a weapon on the night
this
and
is
was
such
easily
cringe.
defeated. From there, Bayley's reaction lessened to the point where she was heavily booed on the
I'm not
August
cheering
7th,
for someone like that.
2017
Yeah, why
Raw.
would I cheer for someone like that? Why would I cheer for someone like that? Why? Why would I cheer for a bitch? Why would I cheer for a bitch? I'm not cheering for a bitch.
The ones who are not booing right now from the WWE universe.
I'm not cheering for a bitch. And you a bitch.
Here in Toronto.
And it's not because the show emanated from Toronto, which WWE
And yeah,
always there.
I don't think she ever recovered from her face character. Never recovered from that. It literally wasn't until she started fucking until she turned heel. She never recovered from that.
That's
insane.
world because of how their passionate crowd
That is
see through the company's
insane.
phony booking. The problem was Bayley's character had been greatly damaged due to creative's misguided direction.
I knew it was time for, I already felt it was time for a change. It was just not working anymore. Because of the kind of babyface I was, because of the kind of character I was, I just wasn't seen at that level. That's when it was like, I was getting anxious, like, I need to get out of here.
Some fans believe she had the potential to be the female John Cena, given her amazing run in NXT, and while Bayley has no doubt become one of the greats, her initial run on the main roster was a huge stumbling block. Charlotte has been booed at different points in her career.
I'm trying to think of why. Again, Becky Lynch. I think that was the big thing, is that people just liked Becky Lynch. I don't know. I think people always just kind of liked the other person she was feuding with more. Like, every feud she was with, people just liked the other person more. And I think she had more of a character. Despite Flair also being one of the best in-ring women's wrestlers of all time, I just think people gravitated more towards the character she was facing. You know, people like, Bayley, and people like Ronda Rousey, and people like... I'm trying to think, who the fuck else was there? She feuded with Becky Lynch for so long. That's about it. I don't know. Will they list anyone?
Yeah, while also being a popular fan favorite. Though the backlash she faced upon returning in 2025 was particularly strong. Flair returned.
2025? Okay, no, I just think people are wrong. I think people are just dumb. I think they're just dumb. I just don't get how people like shit on her from when she has such great in-ring work, when that's something that people clearly just want more of out of their wrestling.
But it wasn't
She's
long
like
until
one of
she
the best
turned heel
in-ring
after her
workers of
first
all
promo
time.
back, coming off a
She
big
is. She
victory
just
in the Royal
is.
Rumble. It was meant
Like,
to be a
fucking
heartfelt
suck your
emotional
mother
address
about it,
after
bro.
returning from a 1-year layoff due to a lengthy injury.
Tore my ACL, sprained
Ouch.
my MCL, shaved down my meniscus.
However, the Queen was booed all throughout. She was stopped a few times, but there was no way back. She was a heel.
Hi, Cleveland. A year and a half ago, you guys booing me would have bothered me. But here's the thing. I missed you guys. I didn't even know if I was going to make it to WrestleMania. You guys don't get it. This is what I think about.
Charlotte's persona is naturally a heel anyway, especially since
It
she gives off
is!
massive Homelander
That
or
is the thing.
Cristiano Ronaldo vibes.
See, when you boo, you know what I hear? Money.
Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to
Wow.
check out our similar.
Chris Jericho should have been in this fucking video, man. I can't believe he wasn't. That's like the antithesis of a character that's been fucking like once loved, now is hated. I can't. That's surprising as hell, man. But anyway, that was a good video. Liked the talking points, really interesting. Yeah, man. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like. And leave a comment what you thought of this video. Go subscribe to Wrestling Flashbacks. He's really great. I like his videos a lot. Anything else to say? Playlist, stream highlights, YouTube video you'll like. Subscribe right here. That's gonna do it for me. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.